Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason. Hope you're doing well. So, there's been a lot of chatter about now that the Yankees season's over, whether it be on the internet, Google, Yankees website, social media, blah blah blah, about what they should do, who they should fire, this and that, and this and that. And everybody's entitled to their views. Clearly, Yankee fans, for the most part, are pretty knowledgeable fans, as most baseball fans are. And they're passionate about their team, and they're very opinionated too. As am I, as a Yankee fan. But I think it's important to kind of keep perspective and kind of live in let's live in reality here too, okay? If that pisses people off, sorry, but that's just it's important to do that because as much as there's a emotional reaction to certain moves that don't happen and this and that and this and that, I get it, but we don't know all the details behind it and so on and so forth. But it was clear at the trading deadline that the prices were way too high for the Yankees, and then for some reason were lower for other teams. With pitchers like Robbie Ray and Taijuan Walker. We don't know why, but teams for the most part, they try to extract a high premium from the Yankees. Okay, that's happened historically. It's happened for a long time. So that's the situation that no matter who the general manager is, whether it's Cashman or Bob Watson or whoever it is, has to deal with, okay? And the manager has to deal with the players that he's given, via free agency or trade and so on and so forth. He has to learn how to do that. And again, it's not the easiest thing in the world either. Okay, so let's just keep that in perspective. But the one thing I really wanted to talk about today, there's been a lot of chatter about, let's trade Chapman, let's trade, Stanton and blah, blah, blah. All valid concerns. I think Chapman, I think we can find a taker for Chapman. Because the fact is, even though he's probably, given up 3 of the most significant home runs in playoff history in the last decade, his body of work, his overall body of work is still dominant. Since he's been with the Yankees, his ERA has been like 2.4, 2.5. If you look at his stats, okay, that's dominant. Okay, that's Josh Hader stuff. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind. He has dominated, even though he's gotten beaten by a couple of bad pitches. Doesn't change the fact that his overall body of work has been dominant. Okay, he has some, he's had some rough pit games and stuff, but every closer has. Okay, so let's keep that in mind too. I do think there's a place for him. Okay, and that's something I'm going to talk about in one of my future videos, in one of my very near future videos. But I've given insight on this already. I've said this in my last video, which is in the description down below. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you like baseball content like this, so that you not only have access to the stuff that's in the description, but the 100+ videos that I've already put out. And let me know that you subscribe in the comments so I can personally thank you, because I appreciate your support. It's really, really important to this channel's growth that you subscribe. Okay, if you want to watch all the videos, then make sure you hit the notification too. But at the very least, subscribe to the channel is really, really helpful. And hitting a thumbs up is really, really helpful. So I thank you for that. One of the things I mentioned, I suggested, is the possibility of looking into trading Luke Voit. Okay, now hear me out. I've been criticized by a lot of people, but the fact is, the Yankees right now are a very one-dimensional team, and we have to become more diverse, more athletic. Now, hopefully Luke Voit comes back and they fix his foot issue and so on and so forth. He's been a dominant power hitter since he's come here. Okay, there's no two ways about that. He's been up there with Stanton level and like home runs when he was hitting bombs, and so he's up there with the big time power hitters. So in 23 this year, I think it was, he led the entire majors. But that said, it's still a little bit of a one-dimensional thing. Now, the other factors that come into play. Number one, he has 4 years of team control left. He's not a free agent until 2025. That means his trade value is through the roof. Okay, there are teams that can use a player like him. Okay, and as much as I would hate to see him go, because I do love watching him play, and I just love who he is as a person. He's just a high-character guy. He can help the Yankees address multiple other issues. Okay, or holes at the same time. Now, whether it be extracting somewhat of a haul for him, he's not going to extract a Nolan Arenado haul or a Garrett Cole. Let's just let's just live in reality here, okay? But I have proposed this in my last video as the possibility of maybe looking into Cleveland as a possibility of finally facilitating a Francisco Lindor trade, okay? Keep in mind, too, okay? And I have considered this. Lindor only has 1 year of team control left. I get it, okay? But he's a top 5 major league player. And even though Luke Voit has 4 years of team control left, the value to the teams is not the same, okay? Lindor does a lot of things. So by coming here, you can now, if they re-sign DJ LeMahieu, move him over to first. Move Torres over to his more natural position at second, okay? Put Lindor at shortstop, and then you have Gio Urshela at third. Now the infield is much better defensively and more athletic, and we just added a lefty contact-hitting batter to the lineup, making it more diverse and less reliant on home runs. Plus, he's fast, okay, and he can run, and we need more guys who disrupt the bases like these other teams did with us. Tampa Bay and Houston did with us back in the day. I mean, we need dudes that can be on the base paths creating havoc. Lindor gives us another guy. He's only 26, okay, maybe 27. But he's a guy that we can trade for, sign to a long-term extension, and just plug him in at shortstop for the next decade, okay? That solves a huge problem. Yes, we would be subtracting a home run hitter, but Lindor puts up good stats, first of all, okay? We'd be helping to preserve the health of some of our infielders. Plus, we have sluggers already, okay? We have Judge, we have Stanton. They're not going anywhere, okay? We have other home run hitters, okay? But now we have players like Lindor, Clint Frazier, who are gap hitters, line drive hitters. DJ LeMahieu hopefully comes back. Now we have 3 really pure contact hitters in the lineup, which really, really, to me, is an upgrade to the lineup. Again, will I miss Voigt's bat? Yes. Will I miss his character? Yes. But we're bringing in a good hitter, okay? And putting them two together, Lindor is an upgrade, okay? He's a top 5 player in baseball, period. Okay, so, and again, this might be an unpopular decision or proposal, but the fact is we have an opportunity right now with a couple of guys with super high trade value, Gio Urshela being another one, that who knows if they're going to consider that, but even, Aroldis Chapman has pretty good trade value right now, so you can send him to a team like the Dodgers, okay, who would take his contract. Okay, they may even send us, I don't know, somebody in return, a reliever, but whatever they would send, we'd definitely get a good prospect or two in return. But Kenley Jansen's on the steep decline. You could plug in a Chapman in there, and it would really, really boost the Dodgers bullpen. Okay, just a thought. And plus, we'd be getting him out of the American League. So the only time we would face him would be in the World Series. So that's just another proposal. But the Luke Voit thing here, the Yankees have a prime opportunity, and they don't come across these opportunities very often. Okay, look what they did when they had, Chapman and Andrew Miller last time. Okay, they traded Chapman, who had high value. We got Gleyber Torres in return. Okay, traded Andrew Miller. We got Clint Frazier in return. 2 important guys now of the puzzle. Okay, the Voit can give us, he can get us a haul. He's not going to get us again. He's not going to get us, a boatload of people. And some people are saying, Lindor and a couple of people. Maybe it might be Voit and a prospect for Lindor and a prospect or 2 or whatever. Fine, but this is a trade that I hope that they consider because it solves a lot of problems for both teams. Plus, it gives it gives the Indians another bat. I could platoon his first base, DH, or whatever he wants. It gives them another bat because they're not going to re-sign Francisco Lindor. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So let's bring him to a team that can and who needs him. Okay, and now it's time to facilitate a trade here. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. There was, why they should consider trading Luke Voit. Okay, and who they should consider trading him for. Me, he might be a part of a package for a pitcher or something like that too. Starting pitcher, okay, but if you have a chance to get somebody like Lindor, you get somebody like Lindor, like the Dodgers did with Mookie Betts. Okay, they gave up a good chunk, but they got Mookie Betts, and they locked him up for the next decade. We do the same thing with Francisco Lindor, and not have to worry about shortstop for the next 10 or 12 years. Okay, and then we can focus on other problems. Plus, we have $75 million coming off the books, not including Jacoby Ellsbury's contract, which is another $22 million. That number finally comes off the Yankees' books this year. Okay, even though they released them and insurance was paying for the contract, it's still, the majority of the contract, it's still counted towards their payroll. Okay, it's officially off now, so they have almost $100 million. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Okay, yes, he will be expensive. Yes, but He's a top 5 player in baseball. You put those guys on your team if you can. So there'll be some other stuff, okay? You know, in my last video too, you know, I've done a video on what I think the Yankees should do versus what I think they will actually do. They're both in the description down below. Let me know what you think of those. If you haven't seen them yet, I want to know what your insight is. I want to know what your opinion is on this video too. Your feedback is important. It helps make the channel better, okay? If there's any other videos that you want me to put out, I'll put out. And I'm going to start doing my off-season predictions for every single team in baseball. I decided to do that like I did last year. I've been getting requests to do that. I'm going to do it. Every single team, I'll do a video for each team. What, you know, probably what I think they should do versus what I think they will do or something like that. Or my predictions for the team. That's probably more likely in this scenario. So keep an eye out for those two, especially if you're a fan of the Blue Jays or the Rays or the Pirates or the Diamondbacks, whatever. If you are, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't miss those videos. Okay. So that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you next time.